What do you know about ancient India? Who were the earliest people who lived in India? What were their customs and practices? Unlock the mysteries of ancient India. Join us on a captivating journey as we delve into the customs and practices that shaped this extraordinary civilization. Hello students, we are back with the Concept Made Easy video where we are going to take up a concept and make it easy for you to learn. It's not hard to memorize facts if you have learned thoroughly through the concepts. That's why we are giving you lessons on basic concepts to provide you with strong foundation upon which you can build any tower of knowledge. As you must have already inferred, today we are going to learn about the customs and practices of ancient India. You know that the earliest people who lived in India were hunters and gatherers. Hunting and gathering gave way to a settled lifestyle when people learned agriculture. Later, as they began bigger settlements, villages developed. Indians were skilled enough to plan and build cities. This led to the civilizations like the mighty Indus Valley Civilization, and also people organized and set up large kingdoms with central administrations as time progressed. Now, let us discuss the answers to what, where, how, and when these happened. First, let us look at Narmada. Earliest people who lived here were skilled gatherers. They knew about the vast wealth of plants in the surrounding forest and collected roots and fruits for food. They also hunted animals. Sulaiman and Kirtar hills are next. That is the current Sindh, where men and women first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago, and they also started rearing animals. Garo Hills and Vindhya comes the next, where agriculture was developed and rice was first grown to the north of Vindhyas. As we move forward, let us look at Indus, which was around 4,700 years ago, and also some of the earliest cities flourished on these banks. Sun, a Ganga tributary, is also a part of this, and the Magadha rulers, who were very powerful, were also to set up a large kingdom next to Sun. Now, let us try to have an understanding on the trail of the earliest people. Factory sites, places where the stone was found and where people made tools, are known as factory sites. Habitation cum factory. Sometimes people lived here for longer spells of time. Kurnool site, current Andhra Pradesh. Traces of ash has been found here. This suggests that people were familiar with the use of fire. Paleolithic. Importance is the finding of stone tools. The period extends from 2 million years ago to 12,100 years ago. A long stretch of time is divided into lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic. This long span of time covers 99% of human history. Mesolithic period. Prominent environmental changes were seen during this period. Also, 1,200,000 years ago, about till 10,000 years ago, were the period of Mesolithic age, and stone tools were generally tiny and called microliths. Microliths were probably stuck onto handles of bone or wood to make tools such as saws and sickles. At the same time, older varieties of tools continued to be in use. Ostrich in India. Visible during the Paleolithic period, large quantities of shells were found at Patni in Maharashtra, and its designs were engraved on some pieces. Let us move forward and discuss how we went from gathering, producing, or growing our own food. The climate of the world was changing, and so were plants and animals that people used as food. Farmers look after the plants and they also grew them. The first animal to be tamed was the wild ancestor of the dog. Later, relatively gentle animals came near the camps where they lived, such as sheep, goats, and cattle. They used to protect these animals from wild attacks, and that was done by the herders. Domestication was a gradual process that began about 12,000 years ago. Now, looking at the settled life of man back then, we see that in Burzahun, in present-day Kashmir, people built pit houses which were dug into the ground with steps leading into them. They may have provided shelter in cold weathers. Stone tools from sites were different from earlier Paleolithic tools, and that is why they are called Neolithic. Many kinds of earthen pots have also been found. However, still, places got hunters and gatherers. In some cases, people try to combine these activities. Finally, let us look at the customs and practices of ancient India. Many farmers and herders lived in groups called tribes. Women did most of the agriculture work, including prepare the ground, and so much more. Children often looked at the plants, and they also did the driving away of animals. Some men were regarded as the leaders. They might have been old and experienced, or young, brave warriors who were also might have been the priests. Tribes have rich and unique cultural traditions, and they also had their own gods and goddesses. Mehgar site, located near Bolan Pass, that is the current Balochistan, most important routes of it ran into Iran. One of the earliest villages that we know about is this one, and also women and men learned to grow barley and wheat, and they also reared sheep and goats. The earlier excavations found were of wild animals, deer and pigs, suggesting that they were hunters, but later level of excavation found bones of sheep and goat, which also make them the herders. So first Mehgar were hunters, and they might have later become the herders. Remains of square or rectangular houses are still present at the site, and also the belief that there is some form of life after death, which was visible in their burial grounds, are also found. Daujali Hade. This site is situated near the Brahmaputra Valley, and stone tools including mortars and pestles have been found, indicating that they used to practice agriculture and that they were agriculturalists. Jarate, a stone that might have been bought from China, is also found here, and also tools made of fossil wood was also in usage. That's all about ancient India discussed in this session. Hope you enjoyed the class and understood the topic very well. We will see you with new amazing explainer videos soon that will make your learning simple, easy and super fast.